So after years of failure upon failure upon failure upon failure upon failure, finally, a light at the end of the tunnel. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Take Two, a movie review series critiquing the latest films hitting the cinemas and discussing which ones to see and which ones to avoid at all costs. I'm Tony Whatley II, and here we go again with yet another movie adaptation of an anime. Please don't suck, please don't suck, please don't suck, please don't suck, please don't suck. This time, it's James Cameron's, assisted by Robert Rodriguez, Alita Battle Angel. Taking place hundreds of years into the future, Alita Battle Angel begins with a doctor discovering the remains of a cyborg in a scrapyard and deciding to rebuild it, creating the robotic girl, Alita. Alita then tries to get adjusted to her new life while still battling to figure out what her old life was. Now, I won't lie, guys. I was extremely apprehensive to see this film, as there were so many red flags just popping up everywhere. First, there's the fact that this film was made by 20th Century Fox, who just 10 years ago made that abysmal movie adaptation to a very beloved anime that I hold dear to my heart that I won't even call by its name because it doesn't deserve to be called by its name, and that was an absolute train wreck. So I don't have faith in this company to do a proper movie adaptation of an anime. Second, the film was being directed by Robert Rodriguez, and while he was a great director in the 90s and early 2000s, he hasn't made a good film since 2005. That was 14 years ago. So my confidence in his directorial skills are very slim. Third, it's a movie adaptation of an anime, and those have not been doing well these past, 2 decades almost? And fourth, this film has been being pushed back and delayed so many different times. The release date for the film was pushed back 3 times. So with all those things, I was really scared that this film was going to turn out to be a train wreck. But there was one saving grace, one glimmer of hope that this film was going to turn out well. And it is 2 words, ladies and gentlemen.
His name is James Cameron, the bravest pioneer. No budget too steep, no sea too deep. Who's that? It's him, James Cameron.
Considering that he is quite an avid fan of anime, was a huge fan of the original Battle Angel Alita, and that Alita Battle Angel was a long-time passion project of his, I had no doubt in my mind that he was going to put his best foot forward when bringing this project to the big screen. The man is a perfectionist, and he will not settle for mediocrity, especially when it has his name on it. That one doesn't count. He wasn't really passionate about that. He was just the executive producer. With all that said, is Battle Angel Alita a glimmer of hope for movie adaptations of anime? Or does it continue the trend of terrible movie adaptations of anime? Let's find out. First praise I'll get right out of the way, as it is the most obvious considering that this is a James Cameron production. The visuals look fantastic. The environments are rich in detail, the character designs are distinct and awesome looking, and although Alita does have a uncanny valley look to her, she does fit well in this world. The action scenes were not only fun, but quite exhilarating to watch. Seeing Alita go toe-to-toe against adversaries bigger and faster than her, yet still taking them to task, man, I could watch that for days. And speaking of Alita, she is the strongest character in this film, literally and figuratively. She's fascinating, charming, sweet, charismatic, and a freaking badass. And the woman who portrays her, Rosa Salazar, for being a relatively unknown actress in Hollywood, she knocked it out of the park with this performance. And finally, the story, or I guess I should be more specific, the main story was quite compelling. I was fully engaged to what was happening on screen, for the most part. And as a big fan of anime, I appreciate the addition of some of these anime tropes that I've come to love, and they weren't done in a poor way like the other adaptations. This was written by someone that understands anime and is a fan of it and properly executed these anime tropes to make them fit in his narrative. But for all the things that Alita Battle Angel got right, there were a couple things that it got wrong. And I hinted to it in my last point, but one of the issues I found with the film deals with some parts of the story, specifically the romantic subplot. Ugh, it was awful.
You know, I finally figured out why they decided to push the release date to February 14th, 2019.
To bank on that terrible love story. You proud of yourselves? Was it worth it? You know, on second thought, don't answer that. I think our intern Aaron put it best when he described this relationship as robot Twilight, because that's exactly what it came off as. I felt zero chemistry between Alita and Mr. Blandside. Mr. Blandside is such a boring, paper-thin character that just doesn't stand out. He's such a wet noodle. I don't even remember what his name is. And then the romance subplot continuously hijacks the attention away from the more interesting plot, the main story. Every time the main story gets going and we're leading to something interesting, in comes the romance subplot to pop its ugly head in and bring that story to a screeching halt. Another pointless element, although it was visually impressive, was the motorball scenes. Yeah, sure, they were cool looking, some points they were exhilarating and fun to watch, but in the grand scheme of the narrative, it's so inconsequential and insignificant. If you were to remove it, nothing about the story would really change. And lastly, I did not appreciate how they relegated Jennifer Connelly and Mahershala Ali to these generic 2-bit lackey characters. These two are Academy Award winners. They deserved meatier roles than this. Instead, Mahershala Ali is just a glorified henchman, and Jennifer Connelly's character was completely wasted. She had so much potential, but she never fully reached it. But despite all its flaws, guys, I still consider Alita Battle Angel to be a rousing success because it was able to pull off something that its contemporaries and films before have not been able to accomplish. Be a competently made movie adaptation of an anime, manga, or OVA series. And for that, it gets huge props from me. Not only that, it's very entertaining, a lot of fun with a strong main character and an interesting story. And with all that said, I give Alita Battle Angel 4 Jinzu Ningens out of 5. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was my take on Alita Battle Angel. Be sure to share your takes in the comments below. And now it's time to share our favorite comment from last week's Lego Movie 2, the second part movie review. And this one comes from subscriber Elsie, who says, "The singing at the beginning, thank you, that made my day." Oh, I'm so glad we were able to make your day. You definitely made my day with your awesome comment. And if you guys would like your comments featured in next week's episode, be sure to comment below your thoughts on this review and Alita Battle Angel. And that'll do it for me here on Take 2. I'm Tony Whatley II, and cut!